If you know the things to look for, you can pretty much spot an INFJ almost instantly. And it really doesn't have anything to do with how quiet they are or how emotional they are or anything like that. In reality, it's actually a combination of things that lead to one whole that no other personality type really has. INFJs are the one personality type who can do all the things that I'm about to discuss in this video, and they can do them at a high level. So the first one I want to talk about is the ability to stand on their own. If there's one thing that I've learned recently in the USA and really in the world, it's that people in general have very little ability to stand on their own, and they have very little ability to have a nuanced opinion. So they seem to either accept all of what one group says or all of what another group says, and they want to belong to these groups a lot. And INFJs, they can stay alone, and they can stand on their own and have their own opinions. And another thing is that INFJs really have less to lose than most personality types, because if you push us around and we leave your little group and we go home, we actually enjoy being at home. So it's like, it's not really punishment to us, whereas it would be to other types who can't stand to be alone. So this one is a big tell as to whether you're dealing with an INFJ or not. And I think this is an extremely rare trait, but others like INTJs can also do it. So we have to look a little bit deeper to identify our INFJ. INFJs also have high emotional intelligence, and they also have extreme caring about the group. INFJ EQ, that's basically emotional intelligence, it's off the charts. And most people in society, they have very little EQ, which is why we see a lot of selfishness and things like that in our society, at work, everywhere. And INFJs have, in addition to this, a high level of logic. And so this logic that we have, and you just write these down if you want to, because these are all adding up to an INFJ. This logic that we have is innocent, it's detached from personal gain, and it's a high level of logic that's able to come to an unbiased conclusion. So if you think about Spock, I think it's Mr. Spock in Star Trek. He had a high level of intelligence, logic, but maybe he was kind of cold. Well, an INFJ has a high level of logic, but also is warm and caring about the group, and it has a high level of emotional intelligence in addition to this unbiased type of logic. And so that leads INFJs to really go after truth, to really go after justice. And again, most people are lacking this desire for truth and justice. And I feel like I need to talk about this right now in the world with everything that's going on. And I have found, and I'm going to go off on a little aside here. I want you to listen to this, see what you think. I've found that if someone's life is in danger, there are quite a few people who will stand up for that person. But they don't tend to stand up for people in situations that are maybe not life and death. So in other words, many people don't care to take your job. They don't care to get you fired. They don't care to cut in front of you in the line at the grocery store. But if you were being attacked or something, a lot of people would likely care about that, and a few of them would actually step up and help you. But the INFJ is not like that. The INFJ will help you even with minor injustices. So they want fairness all the time, even in the smaller situations like at work and like on a project or something like that. They don't just come to people's aid in extreme situations. And I've found in my life that people coming to your aid in smaller situations, that's very rare. It's a rare trait, sadly. And many, many people will stomp on you to get ahead. Maybe it's your job. They'll harass you to make you feel bad or to make themselves feel more powerful. And I have to tell you that I'm trying to tell you this If you've seen this in your life as an INFJ, you're not imagining it. Most people will not tell you that. Moving on from that little side tangent, I want you to know something. It is 100% a fact that most people cannot do all of the things I just listed. So they cannot be alone, have IQ, have EQ, emotional intelligence, care about the group, stand up for people even with small injustices, don't care to go home and be alone. There's no other personality type that can do all of those things. So one thing that is going to happen when you're able to do those things is it causes some people to get jealous. It causes other people to just kind of ignore you and to push you out of the group. And it causes some people to sabotage you. So again, if you've noticed this in your INFJ life, you're not imagining it. I want to tell you a little story that my granny used to say. She had MS, so she had a disability. She slowly lost the use of her limbs and different things like that. And so she knew a lot about this stuff. She used to raise chickens. So she said that if one of the chickens is a little bit different, the other chickens will come in and they'll peck that chicken and basically put it out of the group or kill it. And just being able to critically think, just being able to stand on your own, that's often enough to make you like one of those different chickens these days. And that means you're going to get pecked, you're going to get attacked by others in the group. And it's a sad fact of being an INFJ. You can do many things. And I make these videos and people say, well, you're building up INFJs too much. I did not build anything up. INFJs can do all those things. It's a fact. So I'm not building anybody up. I'm telling you your strengths, and I'm also telling you the negative sides of those strengths is that people are not going to like it sometimes. When somebody has all of those traits, they become intimidating. And that's just the way it is. So in conclusion, if you see somebody who has all of these traits that I've mentioned in this video, they cannot be other than an INFJ. INFJs are the only personality type that can do all of the things that I talked about at a high level. And people might ask out there if you're watching, couldn't this be an ENFJ? Couldn't this be an INTJ? And the answer is no. But they're not going to be that because they cannot do all of these traits at a high level. An INTJ is going to lack the emotional intelligence, the caring, and ENFJs are going to not be able to recharge at home alone. So really, in fact, I often envy the INTJ because they can just not care. If something goes bad in the group or if people are not getting along in the group, they're able to just go home and just chill out. They don't really care. So it's not that I'm saying other personality types are not great. It's that I'm saying you're not one of these other personality types if you have all the traits I mentioned in this video. So INFJs, we don't try to dominate groups. We try to lift them up. We try to support them. And we also, though, are able to survive outside of these groups. So if you'd like to learn more about INFJs, I do have 3 ebooks available, and I'll put the link to those down in the description. And if you would like to learn more about INFJs by watching another video, then be sure to check out this video next.